All right, Steelers Nation, buckle up because we have a lot to unpack about the latest on our Pittsburgh Steelers. The team has had a season that can only be described as wildly unpredictable, full of highs that make you jump out of your seat and lows that leave you questioning everything. But there is something undeniably compelling about watching this squad fight through every challenge that comes their way. One moment, they look unstoppable, and the next, they stumble in ways that seem almost scripted for drama. Yet through it all, there is a resilience that refuses to be ignored. It starts with the players, with the heart and grit that they bring onto the field every single week. And there are moments where individual efforts stand out so vividly that you can't help but marvel at the sheer determination on display. Take, for instance, a situation that unfolded during one of the recent matchups, where an unexpected injury shifted the dynamics of special teams. A player who had barely practiced in a particular role found himself in a position where he had to step up in a way that few could have anticipated. He was taking on responsibilities that would be challenging for even the most seasoned veterans, yet he embraced it, demonstrating both courage and commitment. In doing so, he not only executed his assignment, but also drew attention to the subtle, yet critical ways players impact the flow of a game beyond what the stats sheet might capture. This is the kind of effort that often gets lost in headlines but makes the difference between a win and a loss, between controlling field position and giving it away, and Steelers Nation has seen that kind of moment repeatedly this season. There's a sense that when this team is fully synchronized, when the players are locked in and feeding off each other's energy, they can elevate their play to a level that challenges even the most dominant opponents. And yet, there's no ignoring the flaws that have surfaced. Mistakes have been made, games have slipped away in frustrating fashion, and expectations have not always been met. Still, it would be misleading to frame this team as one without fight or without heart. On the contrary, the Steelers have shown that even in the face of adversity, they are willing to scrap harder than anyone else on the field, to push past injuries, to stick up for one another, and to execute plays that demonstrate a depth of character that goes beyond mere physical skill. This is a team that, despite inconsistency, has repeatedly found ways to compete against the top-tier teams in the league, often surprising fans and pundits alike with their resolve. It's a season of contrasts, full of moments that will make Steelers fans cheer, groan, and debate endlessly. But it is also a season that reinforces the notion that football is as much about heart and resilience as it is about schemes and statistics. Consider the victories over teams that have dominated their divisions, games where the Steelers held their ground and forced respect from opponents who, on paper, should have had the advantage. There is something inherently thrilling about seeing a team that has faced setbacks rise to the occasion when the stakes are high, and the Steelers have done this more than once this year, signaling that there is still much to play for. Even when faced with losses that sting, there is a recurring theme, a refusal to quit, a commitment to the process, and a visible sense of unity on the field that communicates more than words ever could. The quarterback, the defensive backs, the linemen, special teams, each contributes to a narrative that is both frustrating and exhilarating. It's a reminder that football is a game of inches, of effort, of split-second decisions that collectively shape the outcome in ways fans might not immediately grasp, but that matter immensely in the flow of a season. And then there's the coaching, which, while often scrutinized, cannot be overlooked in terms of its influence on the team's ability to rally and compete. Leadership on and off the field has played a role in keeping this squad focused, particularly when the highs and lows could easily derail morale. Even amidst criticism and debate, there is evidence that the guidance provided has allowed players to remain committed, to push beyond adversity, and to seize the opportunities that present themselves during critical moments. This is what makes analyzing the Steelers at this juncture of the season so compelling. The mix of raw talent, situational awareness, effort, and leadership creates a story that is far more nuanced than wins and losses alone. Fans have seen moments that inspire hope, moments that cause frustration, and moments that leave everyone on edge. But underlying it all is a pattern of persistence, a pattern of showing up and competing even when the odds seem stacked against them. It's this combination of effort, character, and occasional brilliance that keeps the conversation alive, that keeps the fan base engaged, and that makes every game worth watching because with the Steelers, you never know when a single play or a single decision will turn the tide, reminding you that in football, anything is possible. And if there is one takeaway from recent weeks, it is that the Steelers are a team that, while imperfect, refuses to be defined by their shortcomings. They are defined by their response to challenges, by the way they rise to confront adversity, and by the way they consistently find a way to make games competitive, no matter the circumstances. It is this very resilience, this very willingness to fight, that fuels the excitement surrounding each upcoming matchup, whether at home or on the road, against a divisional rival or a league powerhouse. There is a rhythm to this season that is chaotic yet strangely compelling, full of unpredictability yet marked by clear patterns of effort and determination, and it is this dynamic that keeps fans invested week after week. From the explosive plays to the subtle contributions that shift field position, from individual heroics to collective defensive stands, the Steelers continue to demonstrate that they are a team capable of surprising both themselves and the competition. The narrative of this season is not one of perfection, but of perseverance. And that is a story worth telling, because in the end, football is as much about resilience, teamwork, and heart as it is about the scoreboard. Observing the team in practice, seeing the interactions on and off the field, and witnessing the way they push each other to excel underscores that this is a squad that refuses to take anything for granted, that recognizes the significance of each moment, and that is willing to battle for every yard, every first down, and every opportunity to gain an advantage. The Steelers' journey this season is a testament to the unpredictable, thrilling, and emotional nature of the sport, highlighting that while mistakes are inevitable, so too are moments of triumph, courage, and determination. It is a reminder that a football season is not a straight line, that the narrative is built from the highs and lows, from the victories and the setbacks, and from the moments when the team rises above adversity to claim a result that defies expectation. Every game becomes a chapter in a larger story, a story of effort, grit, and passion. And this season, the Steelers have written chapters that are as unpredictable as they are compelling, leaving fans eagerly anticipating what comes next, knowing that anything can happen on any given Sunday. Continuing with the Steelers' roller coaster season, it's impossible not to reflect on how this team handles pressure, both from within and from the fans. There's a palpable intensity in the locker room when the stakes are high, and it translates directly to the field. You see players communicating in ways that go beyond play calls. They're reading each other, anticipating movements, and adjusting in real time. And that cohesion, even if not perfect, is what keeps them competitive against elite opponents. Moments of brilliance often come from those who are least expected, from players who have been thrown into roles they never anticipated, showing that preparation, instinct, and sheer willpower can bridge gaps in experience. The recent performances illustrate that while the Steelers may not be flawless, they are relentlessly adaptive. Injuries, lineup shifts, and game-to-game unpredictability are met with a mindset that refuses to yield, a mentality that seems to say, "We will find a way, no matter the circumstances." It's a lesson in resilience that fans witness week after week, one that doesn't always come with accolades or headlines, but is just as essential to the team's overall identity. When reflecting on the past matchups, the contrast between the early losses and the subsequent victories is striking. After stumbling in some of the season's opening contests, the Steelers demonstrated a capacity to recalibrate and respond with calculated aggression. Games against formidable opponents highlighted the strategic adjustments, the ability to study weaknesses, and to exploit them, even when expectations suggested otherwise. What becomes clear is that this team thrives on finding solutions in real time, adapting strategies on the fly, and committing to the gritty details that can swing momentum. There's a rhythm to their play that fans might not always see in statistics, but anyone watching closely notices how individual effort and collective discipline intersect to create opportunities, whether through a critical tackle, a perfectly timed block, or a decisive third-down conversion. Every yard gained and every stop made carries the weight of countless unseen decisions, and this Steelers roster is demonstrating time and again that they can rise to meet those challenges head-on. Even when the Steelers face teams that seem superior on paper, they bring a certain edge that makes contests unpredictable. The mindset seems to be less about fear and more about proving capability, testing limits, and showcasing determination. They have already taken down top-tier squads in the conference, holding their own against teams with dominant records and explosive talent. And these performances are a reminder that football isn't played on paper. While analysis and statistics provide insight, the outcome often depends on effort, heart, and cohesion at key moments. The Steelers, despite flaws and occasional miscues, have repeatedly demonstrated the intangible qualities that define a team capable of competing at the highest level. It's that capacity to rise to the occasion, to translate preparation into action, and to maintain focus under pressure that has allowed them to remain relevant in a season that has been anything but predictable. Looking ahead, the schedule poses unique challenges, yet there is reason for cautious optimism. Matches against teams that are performing well test not only skill, but composure and adaptability. When the crowd noise intensifies, when momentum swings back and forth, the Steelers' response to adversity becomes the focal point. Fans and analysts alike will be watching for how the team manages these high-pressure environments, and the signs are encouraging. Previous games have shown that when adversity hits, the Steelers often respond with resilience, maintaining discipline and leveraging team chemistry to regain control. The quarterback's leadership, combined with defensive tenacity and offensive ingenuity, positions the team to continue competing even against strong opponents. It's a delicate balance, navigating through physical challenges, strategic adjustments, and the mental demands of the game. Yet this roster has repeatedly exhibited the capacity to do just that. Throughout the season, individual players have stepped up in moments that define the character of the team. Whether it's through clutch plays, crucial blocks, or aggressive defensive efforts, these instances contribute to a narrative that transcends wins and losses. They speak to preparation, courage, and a refusal to accept defeat prematurely. There is a cumulative effect as well, where each contribution builds momentum, fostering confidence that can shift the course of a game. Steelers fans have witnessed plays where determination alone seemed to carry the team, highlighting that football is as much about mental fortitude and teamwork as it is about physical skill. The lessons learned in these moments shape not only the outcome of a single game, but the mindset of the team moving forward, reinforcing patterns of perseverance and adaptability that will be critical in the remaining contests of the season. The coaching staff, while often scrutinized, plays a vital role in shaping these outcomes. Strategic adjustments, motivational guidance, and the ability to read opposing teams allow the Steelers to maximize their potential, even when challenges arise unexpectedly. While no season is without its controversies or questionable decisions, the results often reflect the preparation and leadership embedded within the organization. Players respond not only to the plays called, but to the culture fostered within the team, a culture that emphasizes resilience, accountability, and a collective pursuit of excellence. These elements become particularly evident in high-stakes matchups where composure and discipline can make the difference between a narrow win and a disappointing loss. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers swept through Pittsburgh late last night as a new burst of locker room chatter placed Aaron Charles Rodgers at the center of an unexpected storm. According to voices drifting around team corridors, none willing to go on record, the veteran quarterback may have let slip a few pointed remarks about head coach Mike Tomlin, comments that some insiders are describing as the sort of thing no one else had the nerve to say aloud. No one seems to know exactly what Rodgers allegedly said, nor whether the exchange actually happened, but that hasn't stopped the rumor mill from accelerating. One staffer, speaking only in hushed tones, suggested that Rodgers had expressed frustration about the team's direction and communication dynamics, a phrase that quickly mutated into wild interpretations once it landed in the hands of restless fans. By early morning, the entire city seemed to be vibrating with speculation. Coffee shops buzzed with theories ranging from playful ribbing to a serious philosophical clash, while social media erupted with dramatic retellings that grew more exaggerated with every repost. Some claimed that Rodgers questioned the overall clarity of leadership inside the building. Others insisted he was simply venting after a tough session and that the whispers were nothing more than the latest chapter in the franchise's endless swirl of narratives. Tomlin, long known for his unshakable calm, reportedly carried on with business as usual, neither confirming nor acknowledging any of the whispers. And Rodgers, as stoic as ever, maintained his typical focus, offering no hint of tension when spotted heading into team facilities. Whether anything meaningful was ever said remains a mystery. What is clear is that the slightest tremor around a figure like Rodgers can ignite a full-blown tremor across the league's rumor landscape. For now, all of Pittsburgh waits to see whether this is merely smoke drifting through the off-season air or the earliest flicker of a story that could grow far larger. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.